Cool. So this is just basically an opportunity for us to just reflect and kind of see how what we've done, just to kind of get an understanding of kind of where we were to begin with versus where we are now. And if possible, sometimes I use this just to kind of share with other people, just to so they can know the experience, if that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah, fantastic. So let's just kind of go back. Like, where were you like 3 months ago before we started working together?
So I think 3 months ago, I was like, okay, got energy, feeling optimistic, but we've now got kind of a 3 month deadline to get the clients. So I need to try and throw everything I can at that. I definitely thought, oh, I'm definitely a bit lost when it comes to the sales side of things, and there's still a number of things like otherwise I need to sort out because I don't have much help. So I'd definitely say a bit full of beans, but also a little bit like not sure where to go next.
So what has kind of changed over the past 3 months for you?
I think, Summarised hit the targets, which is crucially important, got a much better methodology now in terms of how to approach cold and outbound sales, as well as managing those sort of, how to run those sales processes and close those deals. Much better structure to my day and ensuring that it is very productive. I think the productivity's gone up quite a lot. Actually ensuring that, actually managing downtime and ensuring that I do get some. And crucially, quality downtime, because I think that's always been one of the difficulties with me, getting quality downtime in. And then, just getting some clarity on some wider challenges that I think have, or some wider, maybe almost weaknesses I've had for a while, and sort of addressing those. Yeah.
Fantastic. And when we look into kind of your productivity, I know you mentioned you're kind of going in circles. Like, how much would you say your productivity has increased over the past 3 months? Is it like 2x, 4x? Like, what kind of difference do you think it's made?
I don't know, maybe two to three times. I mean, 2 times seems like a lot, but there's definitely like, it definitely feels like there's a lot of truth in that. There's definitely there's definitely old days where I'd sort of sit at my desk and think at the end of the day, what did I really get done? Which isn't frustrating because it definitely feels like I'm busy for all of that time. But I think the key thing now is obviously getting the important things done, and that's ultimately what's there. Probably let's go 2.5 times.
Okay, cool, nice, bang in the middle.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the revenue, how much revenue have you kind of pulled in over or kind of contract signed over the past 3 months?
So if you give me a second, I can pull out this exact number. So we're looking at 18 grand. It is great getting other revenue because it really helps our cash flow. But crucially, what we want to do is get traction for the new service. Yeah. So we've generated about 3 times as much revenue for the new service than we did in the prior 3 months.
Okay, fantastic. And when it comes to, I guess, new business signed, how much now potential revenue do you think you've got in the pipeline?
Given the fact that we're doing a good job of getting people to subscribe to 6 months up front, we could have maybe sort of circa 37k of future revenue in the pipeline currently.
Okay, cool, fantastic. And I guess one of the last questions is, when we look into kind of your lifestyle, I know previously you were experiencing kind of burnout, a bit of overwhelm, just kind of feeling unsure. What kind of difference do you think that's happened to you over the past 3 months as well?
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a weird burnout I was getting previously, because it wasn't always, oh my god, I'm spending all hours of the day at my laptop. But I was getting quite emotionally drained because of the situation the company was in, and that was having quite negative impacts. I think what's helped a lot is having a clear, trying to create a clear start and end to each day, and ensuring that in each day I'm getting productive things done has allowed me to enjoy the time that I'm basically not at my desk, which has helped me, which is helping me recover energy. I think as well, it's, you know, helping, you know, it's managing getting stressed down by ensuring there is downtime in, has helped quite a lot in terms of recovering energy. So I'd say it's definitely better than it was before.
Yeah. Okay, nice. And what did you enjoy most, or some of the things you enjoy most about the coaching?
I think the more I think about it, one of the really big challenges running your own business is you no longer have that line manager who you can go to with problems. And there are mentors and advisors, which is good, but then you sometimes only have so much of their time. And every now and again, there are definitely areas that they're not so much experts in. And you know, sometimes I'm only speaking to them for like an hour a week. So it's good just to have that kind of support structure. I think it's really important, really, to have that support structure in place, because it's very easy to get lost or not be sure what direction to go in next, or just struggle with things and not know where to turn when you're running a business.
And for someone kind of considering coaching and they're kind of feeling unsure, what advice would you give them to kind of pull the trigger and have a similar experience to yourself?
What advice would I give? I suppose it's obviously go in with a really good idea of what you want to get out of the coaching. And I, you know, honestly, I think the biggest thing is, yeah, coaching is expensive. But like that, you know, it's coaching full stop is quite expensive, but it's because the value you get out of it can considerably exceed what you put in. The way I think of it is, if you're running a business and you need help, you can hire other people to do stuff. And sometimes, you know, like you can find really good people, but a lot of the time finding it really good people can be quite expensive. And you know, I've definitely dealt with a lot of people I've hired who haven't really done as good of a job as they should have done. And there's definitely people I look at and I'm like, did I really get a return on investment, considering I hired you, I paid you this, you were meant to do this, and you did some work, but it was never really good enough. And ultimately, you know, you can't always, as much as it would be useful to depend on other individuals, it's hit or miss whether an individual is going to be dependable or not. But you can depend on yourself. Obviously, the difference you sometimes have is capacity and skill set. So what you're really doing with coaching is, rather than taking money to spend on other individuals to get things done, you're basically upgrading and leveling up yourself, because you can trust yourself and you can depend on yourself to do what's needed to be done once you've got that. So it's to use a video game analogy, rather than bringing on an unknown character into your sort of band of heroes, your adventuring party, but have loads of question marks about what their level is, what their stats are. Coaching is taking yourself, and you know exactly what your level is, what your stats are, and basically, investing that money to ensure that goes up.
Nice, fantastic. And if we were looking at kind of the ROI that you've experienced from, I guess, the lifestyle, the productivity, the revenue side of things, what kind of an ROI do you think it has? 4x, 10x, 5x? What has it been for you?
Yeah, it's difficult to put a price on. I think obviously getting the traction we've got is quite important, because that's now what's allowing us to move to the next step. So it's difficult to put a value on that. You know, if it's the difference between your business surviving or stopping, in mathematical terms, if it's the difference between a zero value or anything else, then that's technically an infinite ROI. But if you want a solid number, let's go with 4.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic.